Hey, everybody. This is Scott Everitt, the Vice President of Healthcare Solutions with Practical Data Solutions. And for the dashboard of the month this month, I want to talk about the physician compensation KPI visualization. Now, a lot of practices that we speak to talk about how provider compensation really is one of the more costly reporting efforts that they have from a time and resources side. It can be complex depending upon the plans that you're utilizing. Sometimes it involves getting data from multiple data sources. There are a lot of calculations involved. Most practices we talk to say not everything is standard. There's a lot of different things that come into play. And then, of course, the biggest issue that you have on the back end is just tons of validation, because these reports have to be completely accurate. This is one of the most important reports from a validation standpoint that's run. So it can be a difficult effort to undertake, but if you want to really boost provider engagement, get providers start looking at their productivity, and this can be extremely valuable for both the practice side and the provider side. Even if your comp plan is simple, it's just based on RVUs, collections, maybe some different tiers, you still want to kind of communicate not just those factors in the projected compensation, but also help the providers understand that there are other factors which correlate and can help drive those metrics both now and in the future. So this dashboard, when we look at it, this is based on just a simple compensation plan based primarily on RVUs, but this is something that could easily be modified to show collections, it could show visits, it could show whatever metrics are really driving your compensation. The most important thing is what we're doing up in the left-hand corner is we're calculating and showing the projected compensation calculations that are out there, and then showing a month-by-month trend of the overall projected compensation. Communicating calculations like this is really a good way to ensure that the providers are adequately informed, they know the methodology of their compensation calculations, and at the end of the day, when their new compensation comes into place, it should help prevent any unpleasant surprises that are out there. They know what's going on. But I think it's important to go beyond just that, beyond just showing here are your RVUs and here's your projected compensation. Help the providers understand that there are ways that they can work more efficiently and better moving forward that would help to increase their compensation that's out there. So they can look at some of these things that correlate and help to work to bring performance up in those areas, which is really going to help benefit them as well. So one of the biggest areas that we can look at, both in the visualization down in the lower left as well as the KPIs up above, is charge lag. Getting the charges in is something that's holding back the number of claims entered into the system. That's impacting RVUs, that's impacting speed of collections. This is something that they have complete control over, and it's something that can definitely be helpful in getting them more up to speed with where they want to go. Obviously, we want to look at patient visit volumes, but something that highly correlates to that is patient satisfaction. And if you start seeing lower trends in patient satisfaction, you may not see it now, but coming up in the next few months, you may start seeing visit volumes start to tick down if patient satisfaction is not up to where we want it to be. So that's another thing to pay attention to. And then, of course, coding accuracy and overall revenue integrity can definitely impact these factors as well. This is something that can be done without increasing visit volumes. If you have providers who say their schedules are completely full, they don't know what they can do, making sure that they're accurate with their E&M coding, which is something that's much easier to do these days. That's something that can really help with these factors as well. And then, of course, something we really all need to pay attention to are denials. And there are denials that are caused directly by the providers from a documentation standpoint and coding standpoint. So they need to understand what's going on with denials as well, because this is something that can have a significant impact on practice reimbursement rates. It can have a significant impact on speed of collections. So this is something to definitely pay attention to as well. So that's what we mean when we talk about looking at these other correlating metrics in addition to what's directly driving their compensation. When it comes to physician compensation, the important thing to remember is that timely and accurate communication is the key to being successful with these reporting efforts. The recommendation we would make is to automate as much of this process as possible. It's something that reduces the required manpower. People have to touch it less. It definitely reduces errors as well because the calculations are all built in. But this is something that's important to really help with engaging your providers, helping your provider satisfaction go up. And in addition to that, gives them a feeling of control over their own compensation, helps them have confidence in the compensation calculations that are being utilized to help their own pay. And then, of course, it incentivizes them to work in ways that are beneficial to not only the practice, but the patients as well. So providing this information can provide a lot of good information to your providers, get their productivity to tick up, and really help to improve their level of engagement and satisfaction with their work in the practice. If you'd like to learn more about the PDS provider compensation reporting solutions, please come visit our website at pds-online.com or contact our office. We'd love to speak to you. Thanks for joining us for the Dashboard of the Month. I'm Scott Everitt.